Hi everyone, it's RJ with Tai Chi for you. So today's class is actually a recorded version of what I was planning to do the previous night, the live online class. So I had some technical issues. I wanted to do this class outside live, but here, obviously I'm outside, it's just not live. So let's get right started. I want to point out that these classes is really just a taste of what Tai Chi is all about. Hopefully it'll get your body moving, but really to understand the Tai Chi practice, you really need to be in a classroom, and I would recommend taking more than one class, taking a couple of classes, because the first class, it's really not going to give you an idea what the practice is all about. So, and especially the first class, you're going to feel very uncoordinated. So I got news for you. We all started the same way. Having that feeling like we're the only one in the room that can't put our thoughts and body together. Well, I've actually worked with dancers, professional dancers, and you would think that, well, a professional dancer would have no problem with this practice. You'd be wrong. It's a different type of training, so even professional dancers, when I teach a class, they seem to struggle with the movements as well. And I find that very interesting. So don't feel like you're the only one in the class that has this feeling like, why doesn't my body, listen to me? Why can't I? So this is a practice that you're never going to understand intellectually. You may have some idea in the mind what you need to do, but your body is just not responding. And this is an idea that I got from a yoga teacher that's had well over 20 years experience. She said, it starts in the mind. Just keep sending that signal to your body over and over again, and at some point the body will respond. All right, so just saying it in your mind over and over again what it is you're trying to accomplish, sending that signal to the body, and eventually the body will respond. And this may take many months to get over this. So let's get right into the practice. As always, try to have some water nearby, keep the body hydrated. So today's class is going to be about patience. Tai Chi Chuan, or Tai Chi, requires a lot of patience. Patience to get the mind and body working together as one unit. So I'm going to teach you a very simple method that will get you on that track. A method that will quiet the mind, calm the nervous system, and over time give you patience to do this practice. So if this is something that you feel you don't have patience to do this practice, but you feel you really want to do this practice, then here's a method that will help your body basically chill out. Okay, so we're going to start in a seated position. You can also do this sitting on the floor with the legs crossed, but we're going to do it from a chair. So here's the idea. In Tai Chi practice, in Qigong practice, the body, you always want a nice straight back. You never want to be hunched over. So in this case, as your body begins to relax in the movement, you don't want to suddenly rest your arms on your legs and lean forward. You're depleting the purpose. Your air supply, you're restricting your air supply by bending over. So you want to keep a nice straight back with Tai Chi and Qigong. So what we're doing right now is going to be Qigong practice to help with your Tai Chi practice. So here, you're going to rest your hands, one on the other, on your lap. The other thing is, I'm sitting on the edge of the chair. So I'm going to give you a side view of this. So here you can see that I'm not sitting way back, and I'm not slouched into the chair like I'm watching television. I'm sitting on the edge of the chair, my back is nice and straight. And the other thing is, my legs are not going to be in close to the chair. I'm going to stretch my legs out so they're at a slight angle. Again, keeping that nice straight back. So with the legs angled out, sitting on the edge of the chair, what I'm also going to do is not have my legs close together, but I'm going to separate them a little bit more. And then a fine detail here is I'm even going to take my toes, and if you watch, I'm going to pivot my toes out a little bit. So all of this is to accomplish that nice, strong and straight back to maintain this position throughout this practice. This is really the most difficult part of this practice, is keeping that nice straight back. So again, from this position, we're going to rest our hands more on close to our body. If we have our hands out to our legs, we have a tendency to slouch forward. We don't want that. By keeping the hands close to the body, palm upwards, one hand on the other, you'll be able to maintain that nice straight back. So from here, we begin the practice. So it's a very simple practice. We're going to breathe in and out through the nose, keeping the mouth closed as best that you can. In the beginning, if that feels uncomfortable, then just breathe through the mouth. But you'll find that most people, or I should say, I find that most people don't have a problem with the breathing pattern. So with the mouth closed, you're going to breathe in and out through the nose, and it's going to be a natural breath. The way that you normally breathe, it won't be a deep breath. You're not inhaling deeply, and you're not holding the breath. You're just having a natural breathing pattern, whatever that is for you. The other point is you're going to close the eyes. So now in this position, breathing naturally, doing the best that you can to focus your mind on your navel. Just placing your mind on the navel as best that you can, and allow any thoughts you may have to just come and go. So don't control anything. Just let your thoughts come and go. Don't worry about it. Listen to the noises around you. Let those come and go. And just breathe naturally. Focusing your mind on your navel, and also, every now and then, feeling your body position. Make sure that your back is staying straight. You can also make sure that the shoulders are not hunched up towards the ears, but the shoulders are nice and relaxed as the palms are resting next to your body. So maintaining this good, strong posture, breathing naturally. Once again, do the best you can to keep the mouth closed and breathe in and out through the nose. Once again, focusing your mind on your navel, letting your thoughts come and go. So from here, you can open your eyes So this is a very simple method, again, that will help quiet the mind. It'll relax your nervous system. It'll basically tell your body to chill out. And if you can have the patience to do this practice, all right, just sit here, your patience will increase in all areas of life, including learning the Tai Chi practice. Now this practice, you can do this first time in the morning when you wake up. You can do it before bedtime. You can do it any point during the day, and you can do this several times a day or once a day. It's really whenever you can fit it into your schedule. So I would recommend starting with a couple of minutes and then trying to increase that to 5 minutes. And then from there, if you have the time, see if you can increase this breathing to 10 minutes. And there's really no restriction. I mean, if you wanted to do 20 minutes, there's no restriction here. But if you can increase the time to 5 minutes and then maybe even 10 minutes, you'll really notice a difference throughout the day. So this is our part of the patience, learning to have patience with yourself, especially, and learning to have patience with other people and situations, learning to flow with nature and not fight against it. So let's move on to the Tai Chi practice, which involves moving the body. So I'm going to get the chair out of the way. And as I say, drink water throughout the day whenever you can. So here's our practice, our standing practice. We're going to have a hips width distance. Our toes going to point forward. And as I mentioned, in Tai Chi, the back is always kept nice and straight. So I'm going to have a slight bend in my knees, but even with that, my back is going to be nice and straight. What you need to understand about Tai Chi is there's always a slight bend in the knees. There's always a slight bend in the elbow. So even when I stretch out my arm, my elbow is not locked out. There's always a little bend in the elbow, a little bend in the knees, and the back is always kept straight. No matter how we move, the back is always kept straight. So from here, we're going to reach one arm forward with the palm facing the ceiling or the sky. Now I want you to imagine yourself in a square room. So the front hand is facing the flat part of the wall. Your back hand is also going to be palm to the ceiling, but it's going to be sort of facing the back corner of the room. So both hands are in that same position. A nice bend in the elbow, palms facing upwards. It's just that one hand is facing forward to the flat part of the wall. The other is facing that back corner. So now there's this idea in Tai Chi, sort of like a scale. You can think of a scale. So as one hand goes up, one hand goes down. One hand goes up, one hand goes down. It doesn't matter which way we move. As one hand goes forward, one hand goes back. And that's what we're going to be doing here. So with this hand in front, this hand in back, we're going to have one hand go forward, one hand go back. To do that, we're going to take the back arm and bend the elbow so the hand is close to the head. Now what I want you to notice is, from here, before we even move the arms, I'm going to turn my waist. So right now you can see my torso is facing forward. I'm going to turn my waist to bring my torso to the same side of that forward arm. So from here, I turn my torso, and now my torso is facing sort of that flat part of the wall. From here. Now what's happening is, you can see that it seems like my arms are moving, but they're not. I'm going to give you this angle here. I'm turning my waist. By turning my waist, it's taking this forward arm and pulling it back. See, if I just move my arm, this is what it looks like. If I move my waist and I keep my arm stretched out, you can see that it's just my waist that's moving the arm. And likewise, this backhand, when I turn my waist in that same direction, you notice how my arm goes with it. But again, I'm not moving my arm forward, I'm just letting my waist turn. So that waist movement is beginning to bring one hand forward and one hand back. So from here, we start with one hand in front, one hand towards the back corner. We bend the back elbow so the hand is close to the head. I turn my waist as far as I can go. And now from here, I continue that momentum with the arms. So this forward hand, I continue and bring it to the side of the body, somewhere around the hip or the pocket. This high hand continues moving forward. And you want to think of pressing something with the palm, or pushing. So I'm pushing with the palm forward. And that's the movement. So again, with one hand forward, palm to the sky or ceiling, the other to that back corner. So again, the arm is not in back of me, and it's not on the side of me. It's more on a 45 degree towards that back corner. So I bend my elbow to bring the hand to the head. I turn my waist. So I haven't moved my arms yet, but now, after I have turned my waist, I continue that momentum. One hand goes to the hip. The high hand continues going forward, like so. So now to repeat that move on the other side, we just have to turn the front wrist so the palm is facing the sky. The other arm relaxes, sort of in a circular movement, to the other back corner, and the palm is facing the ceiling or the sky. And now from here, we bend the back elbow, and now once again, we don't move the arms. We turn the waist as far as we can go, and now we continue that momentum. This hand goes to the hip. The high hand pushes forward. And then again, we turn the wrist so the palm faces upwards. We relax the other arm, sort of in a circular movement. Palm faces upwards. We bend the elbow, and then once again, moving only the waist. And now this forward hand continues to the waist as the other hand pushes forward. And then we repeat. We turn the wrist. The other arm comes up. We bend the elbow. Turn the waist. And continue. So I've been breaking this down as bending the wrist, turning the waist, moving this arm and then this arm. But in Tai Chi practice, the whole body is one unit. The whole body moves and stops at the same time. So from here, you'll notice that it's my waist and arms moving, and then I finish the movement. And then I come to this position, and now everything moves and stops at the same time. All right, and that's something that's going to take time. So start in the beginning, breaking the move down, bending the elbow, turning the waist, and then if you need to, move one arm and then move the other arm. And then turn your front wrist, bring the other hand back to that back corner, bend the elbow, turn the waist, bring one hand to the hip, the other hand forward. So that's today's lesson. again, take your time with it. Tai Chi is not something to be learned in a couple of weeks. It's a lifetime journey. No matter how many years go by, I feel I'm still learning. I feel I've only scratched the surface in all these years. Tai Chi has a lot to offer your health, well-being, your happiness, and in the end, it's just a really fun thing to do. Alright? So that's it for now. I'll see you next time. This is RJ with Tai Chi for You. Take care. Have a good day.